Odisha Biology. In this video lecture, we will be discussing on the topic of biological classification. As we know, biology deals with living organisms. So can you say exactly how many types of living organisms are there? Up to now, scientists have discovered more than 1.7 million types of living organisms. And for our surprise, this number is just 15% of the total predicted number of living organisms, or the total predicted types of living organisms on this planet. So this richness and vastness in living organisms, or this vastness in the biological world, we call it biodiversity. Okay, so there is a large variety of living organisms, okay, and they differ in their morphology, size, color, habitat, etc. Morphology means they vary one from another, or they differ in their structures. They may differ in their size, in color, in habitat. That means their place of living. All this variety or all this richness is there in our biological world, and the term we call it biodiversity. There are also certain organisms which we cannot see in our naked eye, so we call them microorganisms. So they are also present. So as there are more than millions types of living organisms in our earth, so how to study on them in a proper way? So we have to classify them. Okay, in order to classify, first we have to identify them. So the term used to identify living organisms is called identification. So identification means finding correct name and origin. Okay, so the next step is the nomenclature or naming, or the procedure of naming of living organisms. In biology, we follow a set of principles. Okay, we follow a set of principles given by IUCN, or there is International Code for Zoological Nomenclature and International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. For nomenclature of plants, we follow this one, and for nomenclature of animals, we follow this one. So this is called nomenclature, and this nomenclature in biology was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Okay, and the nomenclature is known as binomial nomenclature, as it includes both the name of the genus and the species. We will discuss it in details after we see all this slide. Okay, so another thing is, what is classification? Okay, classification is arranging the organisms to convenient group or categorize all the organisms so that we can study on them easily. Okay, and another term you will see in biological classification is taxonomy. So what is the meaning of taxonomy? Taxonomy is a study, or taxonomy includes three things. One is identification of living organisms, then it includes the nomenclature and their classification. So taxonomy is the identification, nomenclature and classification of living beings. Okay, another word you will see, that is systematics. Okay, so what is the meaning of systematics? Taxonomic study along with evolutionary relationship among the organisms is called systematics. So what is systematics? Systematics means these are two organisms. We will see we will taxonomically study them, and we will also study their phylogenetic relationship or their evolutionary relationships. So that term is called as taxonomy, and what is that term is called as systematics. So these are the terms related to biological classification. Now we will see in details who made the first attempt and what was the attempts for classification. Okay, so now we will see the process of nomenclature in details. We know the common name is not the scientific name of an organism. So there is a process of nomenclature which follows a set of principles. For nomenclature of animals, we follow the International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, and for nomenclature of plants we follow international code for botanical nomenclature. And there is the common mode of nomenclature is called binomial nomenclature. Okay, so now let's see an example. Let's take a tiger. Okay, the scientific name of a tiger is Panthera tigris. So why it is called binomial nomenclature? Bi means two, and we can see here the name or the scientific name is actually made up of two different terms, and the first term or this term is called the name of the genus of that organism. Okay, and this term is the species name. And according to the rule, the first letter of the genus would be in capital letter. So here the P would be in capital. Okay, and both the genus name and the species name, or both the generic name and the specific name, must be underlined or written in italic so that it is written rightly. Okay, so let's take another example. Let's take an example of a lion. The scientific name or biological name of a lion is Panthera leo. Here you can see the genus name is similar. Okay, so the both lion and tiger, they share a common genus. Okay, so there is another term related to this, that is called tautonyms. What is tautonyms? In case of certain animals, okay, in case of certain animals, we can see the generic name and the specific name both are similar. For example, gorilla. The scientific name of gorilla is gorilla. The generic name is gorilla and the specific name is also gorilla. So this type of nomenclature is called tautonyms. Okay, this tautonym is never found in case of plants. Remember this. Another thing, in certain cases, the name of the scientist is written as suffix. For example, in case of tiger, here you can write Lin in bracket. Okay, this is for the scientist or Carolus Linnaeus who discovered or who gave this name, who gave this scientific name. Okay, this is all about binomial nomenclature. But certain organisms like we humans have the scientific name is made up of three parts. So the scientific name of human is Homo sapiens sapiens. So there is no two terms, here is three terms. How is it possible? So this term is the genus, this is the species name, and this is another new term that we call subspecies. Okay, so this is called trinomial nomenclature. Okay, this is all about nomenclature in biological classification. So now let's see three different system of classification. Okay, so classification we know to categorize different living organisms. So who made the first attempt to classify different organisms? Aristotle made the first attempt to classify different organisms, and his system of classification is known as artificial system of classification. So what Aristotle did, he considered one or two characters. Okay, he considered one or two characters for classifying or to categorize different living organisms. Okay, here we can see an example. What he did, he observed different types of animals and he categorized on the basis of the color of the blood. So he considered a character, that is the color of the blood. When he found the color of the blood to be red, he categorized them into anima, or he called them anima, and the animals having no red colored blood, he called them anima. Okay, and another type of classification he also did, that is he also classified plants. Aristotle also classified plants into three types: herb, shrub and trees. Okay, So although this was the pioneer step, or this was the first attempt to classify living organisms, but this system of classification was not fully correct. And after then a few centuries passed, but no significant work was done on this regard until Carolus Linnaeus. Then Carolus Linnaeus in 16th century tried to classify living organisms, and he gave this theory of natural system of classification. So what did he consider? He considered morphology of different organisms, he considered cytology or the structure of cells, he considered physiology or their physiological activities, he considered reproduction and cytochemistry. Cytochemistry means the different types of chemical substances found inside the cell, that is including the proteins also. So he gave a two kingdom classification, or he classified all the living organisms into two kingdoms or two categories. One kingdom is called kingdom Plantae, another he called kingdom Animalia. Okay, he categorized all the animals into kingdom Animalia and categorized all the plants into kingdom Plantae. But here one question rises: what about the phylogenetic relationship? Classification should be in such a way that we can also study the phylogenetic relationship or the evolutionary significance among two organisms. So this system or the natural system of classification also failed. So now what is the next? Here you can see another type of classification, that is phylogenetic classification. This system of classification was given by Engler and Frankl, two scientists, and they classified living organisms on the basis of cytology or the structure of cell, their physiology, their mode of nutrition, and most importantly their phylogenetic relationship or their evolutionary relationship. Okay, so here you can see an example of phylogenetic system of classification, the five kingdom classification, where there are kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Fungi, kingdom Plantae, and kingdom Animalia, including all the animals. So this is all about the three systems or different system of classification. The system of classification here is saw. Also there is also hierarchical arrangement, or there is also taxonomical categorization in classification. You will see that in the next video.